A warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we have a Danish whiskey, the Stauning Dirty Bastard, here on my cask. And the Stauning distillery is located, well, on the west coast of Jutland. This is the main peninsula on Denmark connected to Germany. So this one is 43.4 ABV, 64 euros 90 cents here in Central Europe at Whisky.de or Whisky.com. It's unchill filtered, uncolored, and is produced on 24 very small direct fired pot stills. And this is a rye whiskey, a single rye whiskey produced from local ingredients, local rye barley. They have their own malting floors with a not robotic, with a machinery going over the malt and turning it according to the moisture and everything. And then it was matured for 3 to 4 years in fresh casks from American oak, and then finished in mezcal and tequila casks. So mezcal and tequila is not my favorite spirit, no, not at all. I had an accident with such a bottle in my youth, so nothing for me. And then during this finishing period, and then there's a absolute final finished in a stout cask, so those dark beer. And this is a Danish stout from a small craft brewery, and it's called it's named in Danish to øl. Øl means beer, and Fanø Bryghus. Fanø is the name of the island, and Bryghus, hus means house, and Brygg, I don't know, bridge probably. So the house at the bridge to the Isle of Fanø? Yeah, probably. So it's a guess, not more. The Stauning distillery I visited in 2020, I think. Very modern, very stylish, really worth a visit if you're in Jutland. So wonderful, and they have these beautiful bottles where you see the whiskey, and it's uncolored and unchill filtered. And have a look at this wonderful color, surely due to the stout cask and the fresh American oak cask. So everything is wonderful on this bottle. But we will see, this is a triple finished malted rye whiskey. Yeah. So rye is typically a little bit more aromatic. Some people say bitter, harsh. Others say it's more natural, as it was before in former times. And so here we go. Good cork, and a rye taste on it. Yeah. This is the specialty of the Stauning distillery, that they use local ingredients. And they have 2 huge corn silos. So in one is barley and the other is rye, the other is rye, and then they malt it to either barley malt or rye malt. So every cereal is able to ferment, it's able to turn into barley, that the enzymes start to act, because otherwise the plant wouldn't be able to reproduce. So every cereal is able to, but some are more difficult than others, and rye is not that easy. So the complete rye whiskey in Canada, which is very popular for rye, is done not on the normal way of let the barley turn or the corn turn into barley on those malting floors, so through maltings, but they are doing with cooking, so with heat and pressure. So they turn the rye into, well, sugars. And here it's the malting process. Yeah, it's more intense than a typical single malt whiskey from barley. So this is a single malt whiskey from rye, so it's more intense. And the 53.4, it's a little bit stronger, so you can smell the alcohol. And what's behind? Some exotic spices. But in detail, so they say it's cinnamon, cacao, and tobacco, but no. There are spices in it, but I can't say which of them. Yeah, so 53.4, so I forgot my carafe, so I take the glass, turn it a little bit into drinking strength. Now there are legs running down the glass. That's typical for the dilution of a water-alcohol mixture. Now the rye taste rises, is stronger. Probably now there's this fermented tobacco and this hint of cinnamon bark. Yeah, cheers. Friendly on the tongue, but intense. This rye taste is there. Roasted nuts, probably a little bit of peppery chili catch in it. And I think a slight bitterness of hops. Yeah, might be. Those stout casks, we don't know how small they were, how much the staves were soaked with this hops stout beer. And dark chocolate in the aftertaste. Mezcal and tequila, no, I'm not able to find that. No. The beer note is more intense on this, in this. So quite a different one. Very untypical, but a intense one. So if you like intense malt whiskies, then this one is the right one. And it's not unfriendly, it's not weird or no, it's really big expression with this rye whiskey component and the stout beer in it with the light aroma of hops. And those craft breweries, they typically use 5 to 10 times more hops than those typical lagers you get around the world. Yeah, that's it for today. Catch you next time.